Welcome to Empowerment Radio. My name is Dr. Friedemann, and I'm so glad that you decided to join me. Empowerment Radio is about giving you the insights, tools, and solutions to address some of the most challenging aspects of our daily lives. So sit back, relax, and empower yourself. Welcome back to Empowerment Radio. The topic is being the leader in your life. And that fourth skill to have is trust. You know, one of the things that I find really defines a good leader is that you can trust that leader, that you have a feeling of, well, this person has my back. I can really rely that this leader is coming through for me, and maybe also rely on whatever the person says is the truth. Now, this is the problem right now with the leadership, especially in our country, that we don't really know anymore who to trust and what to believe in. And so all that just undermines our belief in that leadership that's right now existing, and makes us question, is a good leader really someone who speaks the truth, or is a good leader just someone who demands loyalty and demands one to follow? And that's not good leadership. And so don't do this to yourself. Be the one that really says, I am the leader of my life because I am trustworthy and I have my back. And I really am aware of myself. I listen to myself. I talk to myself with empathy and compassion. And I also am choosing how I want to see reality and which path I want to follow. All those possibilities out there and all of those things together will make me a good leader if, and that's the if I can also really trust myself. And this is really hard sometimes. And it's hard because what most people don't realize is how often they are undermining their trust in themselves. I talk sometimes about how we are making promises to ourselves that we don't keep. Like tomorrow I gonna work out for half an hour, and from then I'm gonna do this every other day. Well, you skip one day, you feel like you already failed, and then you don't do it at all. So this real, gung-ho, I'm gonna do it, just poof, is gone. And that's in some ways lying to yourself, letting yourself down. Or you may make, these big lofty goals. I'm gonna lose 50 pounds, or I'm gonna definitely, become now a person who is very socially active and meets new friends, and something inside of you holds you back. You are giving in and you're giving up. That does not really build trust. For those of you that are self-proclaimed procrastinators, how your word of I'm gonna do it tomorrow doesn't really have any weight, because tomorrow could be the busiest day of the year, but ultimately you still will procrastinate another day and make it another tomorrow, and it's never going to get done. So all of those things, you're not really, as Don Miguel Ruiz in his 4 Agreements says, you're not impeccable with your word. All of that is undermining your self-trust. And so to build self-trust, you really have to make a change. First of all, you have to not make promises or goals that you cannot keep. Really say not something that you feel like you should be doing. I should be already, in the gym 3 times a week, or I should already weigh less, or I should already, have a much bigger circle of friends, or whatever the things are that you're, promising yourself that you're not keeping. Or I should already have, decluttered my house. No, just really start with a small, attainable goal that is then building your confidence that you can actually stay true to what you say you're going to do. Make yourself someone who is succeeding in what you say, even if it's a very small step. But one little step of success leads to another step of success, so that becomes your foundation of trust, and that helps you then to get that sense of confidence, what I say actually matters and is the truth that you have been missing. And that is also true with others. If you are noticing that you are lying to others, that you're actually making excuses to others, that you're bending the truth or you're avoiding conflict by not really saying what happened, well, as I said, your subconscious takes it all personally. And so once again, you are not seen as a trustworthy person. You're seen as someone who ultimately is a liar. And whether you do it to yourself or to others, it is just not really building that leadership confidence inside of you that you need. And another one is, that you may feel also that, you are damaging yourself in ways that you shouldn't. How many times are we saying that, overeating or taking drugs or, binge watching is not good for us? And we know it. The inner communication even tells us when we listen, that feels bad, that numbs you out, that makes you feel sluggish and somehow drained of your life force. Still going to do it. Still somehow ignore that voice. And again, that brings you back to inner communication. It also undermines that trust in yourself. So really notice how you lose trust. And then just by doing the opposite, step by step, in small ways, build that trust in yourself. Now, I talked yesterday to a client. It was really fascinating. He told me that he has this typical pattern of stop and go. It's like going full on, having big goals, telling himself this is what he needs to reach. And in this case, it was a health goal, losing 50 pounds, eating well, meditating, really taking care of himself. And somehow after a week or two, he realizes I'm still not there. I used to look really good. I was a handsome dude. And now look at me, and like a house of cards, all deflates, doesn't follow through, stops completely. And then usually he goes into the opposite. He actually hurts himself more by maybe over drinking, overeating, not working out at all anymore, stressing out more. Then usually he ends up in some kind of an emergency room because he has huge blood pressure problems or is pre-diabetic. Then he has his wake-up call, he gets gung-ho again, wants to start all over, and the cycle continues. And what we talked about really opened his eyes. He said he never ever had thought about this way, which is that goals really are, the way he sets them, more self-limiting and self-destructive than self-motivating. That actually goals are the wrong way to pursue life, because when you're pursuing goals, this is my reason to be, you actually have always this little carrot dangling in front of you that you somehow feel like you have to chase it, the holy grail that you have to find, and you completely lose yourself in the goal. Because you don't reach the goal, so you're nothing, you're worthless. Because you're not there yet, and others are there, you cannot compete. You define yourself by the goals you cannot reach. And even if you reach them, then you want the next goal, because goals are kind of perpetuating in their growth. They always want more, they always want higher. So forget about goals for a moment, okay? I know we all told we should pursue goals, but let's just put this aside and change it into your identity. What I told him is, take on the leadership in your life when it comes to your health. Have the identity of a healthy person. Tell yourself, I'm a health person. And he is a healthcare professional, so he is actually a person who focuses on health. But be in your mindset a person who is living, breathing, and feeling health. And that way, with that identity, you will really take on patterns and thoughts and emotions that are simply expressing this identity. Define what that leadership when it comes to health would look like. Tell yourself, I am a person who is living, breathing, eating health. I'm a health person. And then, just like Superman would take on the cape, you are taking on that persona. And all those goals will be reached automatically. They are no longer that destination to go to, because you already arrived by taking on that leadership, by being that person that is owning your health. And it's no longer a only when I'm there, I am actually feeling good enough about myself. You already are able to feel good enough about yourself because you have taken on that ownership. And now it's about being responsible for that, consistent with that, and really anchoring yourself into that new identity. And just as he anchors himself in this identity of being the leader of his health, you can anchor yourself into the identity of I'm the leader in my life. And you may choose first to focus on an aspect, leader like he and his health, or the leader in my career, or the leader in my family, or the leader in my spiritual development. You can take leadership in smaller steps, but you can also say then overall, I live my life for me. I live my life in the most authentic way. I live my life with joy and purpose. And this way, when I'm the leader of my life, I can actually be of greatest service to others because I come from the fullest self, from that most whole way of being with access to all my gifts and resources. And I'm not that down, drained, powerless version of myself that just wants to go through the motions and hopes at some point something gonna change for me. Again, if you have any reframing problems, just go to hello@drfriedman.com, send me an email. And if you just want to find out more about what I'm doing, how I'm helping to get empowered, unstuck, overcome their fears and anxiety, visit my website, drfriedman.com. So nice to have you tune in. Thank you very much. And I will be back for the next Empowerment Radio with another fascinating guest. Take care. Bye. Hi, Dr. Friedemann here. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. If you're interested in learning more about fear and anxiety, here you'll find guided meditations, webinars, and interviews with some of the most renowned experts in the field of empowerment. Delve into the over 230 videos and more to come every week.